Hello, everyone. Welcome to the service. Right now, I'll be playing the prelude. The song is called Sunday Morning by Maroon 5. Enjoy. Thank you for coming. Sunday morning, rain is falling. Here's some cover, shed some skin. Clouds are shrouding us in moments unforgettable. You twist and fit the mold that I am in. Well, things just get so crazy, living life, it's hard to do. I would gladly hit the road, get up and go if I knew that someday it would lead me back to you. That someday it would lead me back to you. That maybe all I need. Darkness, she is all I see. Come and rest your bones with me. Driving slow on Sunday morning, I never want to leave. Fingers trace your every outline. Oh yeah, yeah. Paint a picture with my hands. Back and forth we sway like branches in a storm. Change the world, but still together when it ends. May not know that maybe all I need. Darkness, she is all I see. Come and rest your bones with me. Driving slow on Sunday morning, I never want to leave. Trace your every outline, oh yeah, yeah. Paint a picture with my hands. Train like branches in a storm. Change the weather, still together when it ends. May not know that maybe all I need. Darkness, she is all I see. Come and rest your bones with me. Driving slow on Sunday morning, I never want to leave. Yeah, well, things just get so crazy living life, it's hard to do. Sunday morning, rain is falling, and I'm calling out to you, singing someday it'll bring me back to you. Find a way to bring myself back home to you. May not know that maybe all I need. Darkness, she is all I see. Come and rest your bones with me. Driving slow on Sunday morning. Driving slow, oh yeah, yeah. 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 Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you. Right now, please join us in the ringing of the chimes, and thank you all for coming.
Good morning, everyone. We'll begin with hymn number 19, our hymn of welcome this morning, The Sun That Shines. The sun that shines across the sea, the wind that whispers in the tree, the lark that carols in the sky, the fleecy clouds are sailing by. Oh, I'm as rich can be, for all these things belong to me. The raindrops which refresh the earth, the springtime mantle of rebirth, the summer days when all things grow, the autumn mist and winter snow. Oh, I'm as rich can be, for all these things belong to me. The task well done, the fun of play, the wise who guide me on my way, the balm of sleep when each day ends, the joy of family and friends. Oh, I'm as rich can be, for all these things belong to me.
Morning on this Sunday, August 23rd, 2020. My name is Joe Gelati, and my wife Karen and I have been attending services here at UU Danbury since the mid-90s. I have the pleasure of serving on the adult education ministry, Sunday services, and the board of trustees. Welcome to this virtual service of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Danbury. We're so glad that each of you are able to join us this morning and to gather in community. We can ensure that social distancing does not mean social disengagement. Our weekly services are more than just a gathering of our physical bodies. It is the forming of a sacred time that we make together. Whether you are well versed in the technology of teleconferencing or this is your first venture, we welcome you. Whatever the faith and tradition of your past, whatever your theological stance, whatever your heritage, whomever you are, whoever you love, we welcome you. You can learn more about us on our website and Facebook page. We encourage you to share our Facebook page and reach out to others who may be isolated at this time and might benefit from the spiritual connection that is typically available by walking through our open doors on Sunday morning. We have a few announcements this morning. Young adults of UUCD, join us in conversation, spirituality, and social justice every Sunday at 12 p.m. in the UUCD Zoom room. Please contact Sequoia Lowe at email listed for more information. Parents of children ages 0 to 6 who are interested in participating in the pilot Parent of Preschoolers, POP program should RSVP Sierra Marie at dre@uudanbury.org by Monday. This program will be especially useful for parents of children ages 2 to 5. It is designed to create community and accompany parents through the early childhood years. It will be launched on September 13th, pending enough interest. And one final reminder, remember that you may select speaker view or gallery view to change your webcam view located at either the top right corner of your screen or the bottom of the window frame. Also, you can chat to UU Congregation of Danbury privately if you have any questions or technical issues. That can be, please minimize the chat if you have any, if it's distracting for you. That can be typically accomplished by clicking the X or the down arrow in the upper right-hand corner of the chat screen. And next, we're going to have opening words with Dylan Warden.
Okay, hello again. Greetings, everyone. My name is Dylan Warden, and welcome to the UUCD Young Adult Service. We'll be talking about gratitude at the Sunday service. First of all, what is gratitude? I'm defining it as gratitude is the quality of being thankful and showing appreciation. And although I'm defining it simply, it is a feeling that can be expressed so diversely. What constitutes gratitude can come in many forms. It can be a couple celebrating their anniversary with a dinner and being grateful for each other. It can also be a lone person admiring a sunset and being thankful for that. During this unprecedented time we're living in, I feel that gratitude is an important thing to cultivate as well as hold on to. My peers in the UUCD Young Adult group, with which I'm a part of, also share this opinion. Today, we wish to shed some light on the subject of gratitude, give our thoughts about it, and hopefully help you to find gratitude as well. Next, would you please join Deborah Casey with our chalice lighting affirmation.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. If you could now gather together your chalice and something to light it with, and we're going to join together and say the chalice lighting affirmation. If I can get mine lit. There we go. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and justice is its light. This is our covenant to dwell together in peace, to seek and speak the truth in love, to help one another and celebrate life. And now Julie Tramontana will share a story for all ages.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be reading 3 short stories from the book Zen Shorts. I believe they each represent in their own ways how we can be a little bit more mindful about everything in our daily lives. The first story is called Uncle Rye and the Moon. My Uncle Rye lived alone in a small house up in the hills. He didn't own many things. He lived a simple life. One evening, he discovered he had a visitor. A robber had broken into the house and was rummaging through my uncle's few belongings. The robber didn't notice Uncle Rye, and when my uncle said hello, the robber was so startled he almost fell down. My uncle smiled at the robber and shook his hand. "Welcome, welcome. How nice of you to visit." The robber opened his mouth to speak, but he couldn't think of anything to say. Because Rye never lets anyone leave empty-handed, he looked around the tiny hut for a gift for the robber. But there was nothing to give. The robber began to back toward the door. He wanted to leave. At last, Uncle Rye knew what to do. He took off his only robe, which was old and tattered. "Here," he said, "please take this." The robber thought my uncle was crazy. He took the robe, dashed out the door, and escaped into the night. My uncle sat and looked at the moon, its silvery light spilling over the mountains, making all things quietly beautiful. "Poor man," lamented my uncle. "All I had to give him was my tattered robe. If only I could have given him this wonderful moon." The Farmer's Luck. There was once an old farmer who had worked his crops for many years. One day, his horse ran away. Upon hearing the news, his neighbors came to visit. "Such bad luck," they said sympathetically. Maybe, the farmer replied. The next morning, the horse returned, bringing with it 2 other wild horses. Such good luck, the neighbors exclaimed. Maybe, replied the farmer. The following day, his son tried to ride one of the untamed horses, was thrown off, and broke his leg. Again, the neighbors came to offer their sympathy on his misfortune. Such bad luck, they said. Maybe, answered the farmer. The day after that, military officials came to the village to draft young men into the army to fight in a war. Seeing that the son's leg was broken, they passed him by. Such good luck, cried the neighbors. Maybe, said the farmer. A heavy load. 2 traveling monks reached a town where there was a young woman waiting to step out of her sedan chair. The rains had made deep puddles, and she couldn't step across without spoiling her silken robes. She stood there, looking very cross and impatient. She was scolding her attendants. They had nowhere to place the packages they held for her, so they couldn't help her across the puddle. The younger monk noticed the woman, said nothing, and walked by. The older monk quickly picked her up and put her on his back, transported her across the water, and put her down on the other side. She didn't thank the older monk, she just shoved him out of the way and departed. As they continued on their way, the young monk was brooding and preoccupied. After several hours, unable to hold his silence, he spoke out. That woman back there was very selfish and rude, but you picked her up on your back and carried her. Then she didn't even thank you. I set the woman down hours ago, the older monk replied. Why are you still carrying her? Thank you.
As we move into this time of shared milestones, you can share in the chat window if you would like, or if you have a stone in a bowl at home, you can do that on camera. I'll be playing some music underneath, so take this time to share your joys and concerns with one another.
It is now time for our congregational offering. If you are with us for the first time, feel free to pass the virtual plate because your presence with us here today is your gift to us. Members, please express your generosity by clicking the link that is posted in the chat to make a donation or a pledge. And even though we are not in the sacred space on the ridge, we are creating our sacred space together, and our operating expenses do remain the same. You may also mail a check to UUCD at 24 Clapboard Ridge Road in Danbury. And thank you so much for doing your part to support and sustain this congregation. Now, please join me in our congregational response. In the spirit of compassion and service, we dedicate these, our offerings.
I'm gone, praise him till I'm gone. I'm gone, praise him till I'm gone. When the praises go up,
the blessings come down. When the praises go up, the blessings come down. It seems like blessings keep falling in my lap. It seems like blessings keep falling in my lap. I don't make songs for free, I make them for freedom. Don't believe in kings, believe in the kingdom. Chisel me into stone, prayer whistle me into song air. Dying laughing with Krillin saying something about blonde hair. Jesus, black life ain't matter. I know I talked to his daddy. Say you the man of the house now. Look out for your family. He has ordered my steps, gave me a sword with a crest, and gave Donnie a trump in case I get shortness of breath.
I'm gone, praise him till I'm gone.
Don't be mad.
I'm gone, praise him till I'm gone. When the praises go up, good God, the blessings come down.
Good God.
When the praises go up, oh, good God, the blessings come down.
The blessings come down.
When the praises go up,
Blessings
oh,
keep
oh,
falling
the blessings
in
come
my
down.
lap. The blessings come down.
When the praises go up, oh, oh, the blessings come down. Good God.
They booked the nicest hotels on the 59th floor with the big wide windows with the suicide doors. Ain't no blood on my money, ain't no Twitter in heaven. I know them drugs isn't close, ain't no visit in heaven. I know the difference in blessings and worldly possessions, like my ex-girl getting pregnant and her becoming my everything. I'm at war with my wrongs. I'm writing 4 different songs. I never forged it or forfeited. I'm a force to be reconciled. They want 4-minute song. You need a 4-hour praise dance performed every morn. I'm feeling shortness of breath, so Nico grab you a horn. Hit Jericho with the buzzer beater to end the quarter. Watch brick and mortar fall like dripping water. Good God!
I'm gone, praise him till I'm gone.
Good God!
I'm gone, praise him till I'm gone. When the praises go up, good God, the blessings come down.
The blessings come
When the
down.
praises go up, oh, oh, the blessings come down.
The blessings come down.
When the praises go up,
Are
oh,
you
oh, the
ready
blessings come down.
for your blessing?
When the praises go up,
Are you
oh, the blessings come
ready
down.
for your miracle? Are you ready? 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 It seems like blessings keep falling in my lap.
Good morning, everyone, again. Just a little bit to introduce myself. I'm Julie Tramontana. I am a member of the young adult group at UUCD, and I have been going to UUCD since I was probably about 5 years old. I grew up Unitarian, and I went to RE for 12 years. And a lot of the kids or adults in the young adult group have been my friends for years since we started going. So this is a very special place to me. I'm just gonna read a little bit of a reflection that I wrote. Gratitude and complaining. We live in a society where it's very convenient to complain. The weather, politics, people, and so much more. Our lives have changed immensely in the last 6 months, and not in the way that any of us would have liked. I'm a self-appointed complainer. It feels impossible to stop when life is not going my way. After getting rude customers at work, or I'm not getting what you want, it's easy to rant about it or find a reason not to be grateful. Think before you speak. That's what my dad has been telling me for years. He wanted to make sure I didn't say something that would affect someone else in a negative way. That makes perfect sense, so what if we think before we speak, for not just how it affects others, but how it affects our own well-being? Holding on to this kind of anger will lead us to be less happy and less grateful for what we do have, and letting go of what isn't worth it can help us in the long run. I'm very guilty of all of this, so I just wanted to be able to help others and myself by making a few suggestions. Take a moment when you say something negative and ask yourself, is it necessary? Is it helpful? Is it kind? Even if it's not unkind to anyone in particular, it may have unkind energy and can affect you poorly. You can even do this with your thoughts. Notice you're in a bad mood. Maybe it has to do with the attitude you have in your head. And slowing down and being more present can help with this. Sometimes before I head to work or do something I don't want to do, I'll take a deep breath and think of this quote by Sarah Dan Jones. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. I'm grateful even when I'm not aware of the fact that I have the ability to complain. Even that is worth being grateful for. Thank you. Now Sequoia Lowe is going to share a reflection to the congregation.
Hello, that's me. I'm Sequoia. So let me start by taking a little look at some social media posts. Okay, so this guy's looking pretty fresh, posing with the shades and the hat. He says, "It ain't easy being this fresh. I work hard every day for my stuff, man." Okay, posing again with the car. He says, "New week, new whip. Don't talk to me unless you got a hot ride like me." Okay, now I'm starting to feel a little inadequate. I feel like because he has this cool car and I don't, he's better than me. And it is a pretty cool car. Let's look at one more. Okay, now he's saying, if you don't have a convertible, then honestly, what are you even doing? Well, that's kind of rude. This guy's got a nice car, got some nice shades. He's posting about it on social media. And this can make me feel pretty sad. All right, so let's talk about what happened there. Someone else's social media posts made me feel bad about myself, and they made me feel like material possessions were the key to feeling better. You may have heard that social media posts like these are part of what's known as flex culture. Flex culture is simply the culture surrounding the art of showing off, especially expensive products, and especially on social media. Some people do this to assert that they're better than others, and some just want to share the things that make them happy. Either way, I'm sure you can see how the effects of flex culture can become problematic. Many users of social media are constantly inundated with images of status symbols, reminders that others have nice things and they do not. And even to those who don't care about fancy clothes and fast cars, a daily stream of this sort of messaging can breed feelings of ingratitude and inadequacy. I'd like to talk about two things we can keep in mind to keep posts like these from making us feel insecure. The first is that people usually only post the most exciting parts of their lives on social media. When we scroll through our feed, we generally don't see people posting about brushing their teeth or driving to work. Instead, they focus on the highlights, their vacations, their achievements, etc. And it is often too easy for us to make the mistake of wondering why we aren't living an endless stream of highlights too. Remember that social media underrepresents the mundane, the sad, the unimpressive, and that experiencing less than wonderful things is absolutely normal. The other huge reason why social media can bring us down is that social media encourages us to compare ourselves to the very best of the world. Art is a great example of this. There is a lot of decent artwork that gets posted online, but the artists that get applauded online and shared with the world are the ones that are exceptionally talented, more so than nearly anyone else. An aspiring artist could easily stumble across these incredibly talented creators and feel discouraged, frustrated that their work seems terrible by comparison. And this concept of showering those with superlative talent with attention extends to every other skill imaginable. Whether it's running, modeling, telling jokes, or making money, it can be exhilarating to see what people can do when they push themselves. But constantly consuming images of these titans of their craft often serves to discourage us from making our own improvements. Remember that only one person can be the best at anything, and that you can do anything you want, not because you're good at it, but just because it's fun. I would argue that forces like social media can make it more difficult to stay grateful today than it's been in the past. But when you learn to identify the way that posts can have an impact on your thoughts, you begin to understand that you decide what meaning to assign to them. Choose to see social media as a way to celebrate others, rather than a way to feel sorry for yourself, no matter what XX Devin Got Drip XX has to say about it. Next, we'll be hearing a musical interlude from Daisy Lowe.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to be taking a message from one of our favorite childhood role models, SpongeBob SquarePants, and singing his song, The Attitude of Gratitude. Oh, I've got a whole new attitude, a lifetime subscription to gratitude. Friend, you've got to change your latitude. Live an attitude of gratitude. I'm grateful for the life I am living. Who knows how long I will have it. I'm thankful for all I've been given. We make appreciation a habit. There's no time like the present day to have a present come your way. All you have to do is grab it. So now I think that you will see there's nothing more you need. My friend, this ain't no platitude, just an attitude of gratitude.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Devin Cousins. I've been going to UCD ever since I was in 5th grade, so long time. I've been a UU my whole life. I wrote a little paper here about gratitude. So gratitude is a learned mentality. It enhances your quality of life while creating positivity in the world. People notice when you're grateful for things, whether it's for your own things or the actions performed by others. Gratitude also means that you have respect for your life and the lives of others. As a mid-teen, I took things for granted, a lot of things. Respecting people I didn't get along with was kind of challenging, as a mid-teen. And so my actions actually got me sent away to boarding school. So I had to go live away for 9 months in 2 different places. It's kind of weird, but it was to help myself to understand myself better and what I had in my life, So this did really help me gain some perspective on life and what I had going for me. For example, at this boarding school, washing machines were a luxury. So I actually had to learn how to wash my clothes by hand. I had to use, a scrubbing board and like a whole tank of water and some soap, and I had to actually manually wash my clothes. And I did that for the better portion of 6 months. So it really helped me develop an appreciation for how my clothes got clean at home. Thanks, Mom. Another example of how I learned gratitude was simply the fact that I couldn't be with my family, as much as I wanted. They were so far away from me, I didn't really get a chance to see them in person. Every 2 months or so, they would be able to come and see me, and that's just the way it worked. It was every 2 months. So it really made me develop an appreciation for being able to see them, and especially during holidays and, major kind of events I missed my mom's 50th birthday. So every single birthday from now on is going to be great, and I'm really going to treasure it and appreciate it because your family is the only one that you've got. So it's really important to make the best of what you have with them. And that's what I have to say about gratitude. Julie, you're next.
Actually, I think it's me. Thank you, Devin, for that reflection on gratitude.
You're right. Sorry, it's Daisy.
All good. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about the power of you and the power of choice. If you're feeling sad, you can turn it around. I've struggled with taking my own time into my own hands for a lot of my life. My time has been wasted away by YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Netflix, sleeping, and so many other things. If I had a bad day at school, I would come home and watch YouTube videos I didn't care about until it was 2 a.m. and I hadn't done any of my homework. It was a vicious cycle that took a toll on my mental health. As I'm getting older, I'm learning something very important. My time is my time. I can use it however I want for whatever I want. If I ever had a bad day at school, I could have come home and sang through my favorite musical or made dinner for my family, and I think I would have felt much better. This power to change my own actions is what is giving me motivation and happiness in the present day. During the beginning of quarantine, I was a mess. Staying up late, sleeping late, eating very poorly, and I wasn't super happy. Obviously, the world was hurting, and so was I. I let it all get to me. Finally, one day I woke up and realized I had to change something. And I could change it, so I did. I got up early and I ate 3 meals a day. I practiced singing and I went for a walk. It was great. I've since changed my routine a bit, but I'm still getting up early, even earlier than before. And I'm doing many things every day that make me happy. I am able to take care of myself, and I have given myself things to be grateful for. I encourage all of you to think about the free time you have. Even if it's just an hour or 2 at the end of the night each day, or if you have a few days off a week, you can use that time for something that makes you happy. Start a hobby. Drive to a different neighborhood and go for a walk. Learn a new instrument. Just take a day to just sit and do nothing if that's what makes you happy. There are so many things that you can do to make yourself into your best, happiest self. Realizing you have the power to be who you want to be is the greatest thing, in my opinion, to be grateful for. And now for Dylan's reflection on gratitude.
Thank you for the introduction. So for my reflection on gratitude, I decided to look at ways in which we can harness this emotion. Now, according to Robert Emmons, a leading expert in gratitude and professor of psychology at University of California, Davis, gratitude has two components: affirmation of goodness and figuring out where that goodness comes from. In other words, it involves feeling grateful and then figuring out what you are grateful for. A way of improving your gratefulness is to work on it. I consider gratitude to be a skill, and just like any other skill, you get better at it with practice. One way of practicing gratitude is to keep a gratitude journal where, let's say 2 to 3 times a week, write at least 5 things that you are grateful for. I personally have been doing this for the past few months while being involved with the planning of the service. I'll actually read you what I wrote down today. I'm thankful for my guitar, which you saw me play earlier. I'm thankful for live sports coming back. Thankful for comfy couches, air conditioning, especially this time of year, and dress shirts. Got to wear one for this church service. So those are some things I wrote down today that I'm grateful for. Another way to practice gratitude is to write a letter addressed to a person to whom you're grateful for. You don't have to send this letter. It is more about getting your thoughts out on paper. This exercise requires you to think about who you are grateful for and why. The self-reflection induced from this is ultimately important for gratitude. Now, these 2 exercises are just suggestions, but really there are many ways to cultivate gratitude. And an important thing to note is don't forget to validate your feelings, regardless of whether they are positive or negative. Gratitude is not about suppression, but about acknowledgement. Many people are frustrated during this coronavirus pandemic. So am I. I mean, let's face it, I really wish that I could have this service in person and not have to do this over the webcam. But hey, it is what it is. And I'm grateful that we're all here. And finally, it's okay if you are having trouble finding things to be grateful about right now. Honestly, I sometimes have trouble finding my gratitude as well. You can always come back to these exercises at a later time. But just remember that self-reflection is important. So with that all being said, I hope that I've given you some tools to help bring more gratitude into your life. Thank you for listening. And next, please join Julie with a guided meditation.
Hello again, everyone. And thank you, Dylan, for that wonderful reflection and advice for everyone that I hope everyone can consider using in their daily lives. I'm going to do a guided meditation with everyone, and I think that is also a great way to feel grateful and be more present in your lives. I just wrote one up, and I used some information from livepurposefullynow.com, which actually has some good resources for stuff like this, but I just put the ones that I like together. So first, find a comfortable position to sit in, and make sure you release your shoulders, relax your jaw, and release all the tension in your muscles. Sit comfortably back. Make sure your posture is good as well. Take a minute to center yourself. Think about how your week has been, what's been happening today, what's happening right now. And when you feel ready, you can close your eyes or you can leave them open, whatever you feel comfortable with. We're going to do some deep breaths. So we're going to go in through your nose, in for 4. Make sure you fill your lungs entirely with air. Hold for 4 and release for 4. Repeat this on your own however many times you need, and I'll give you a few moments of silence to do this. Now I want everyone to repeat a mantra in their head while they're deep breathing and centering themselves. It's very simple and may seem cliche, but it's just, I am grateful for blank. And you could put anything in that blank. For example, something as simple as, I'm grateful for the air in my lungs. I'm grateful for the food in my fridge. It may even be hard to find anything to be grateful for or positive about anything in life right now. You might be facing a difficult challenge or in search of answers. Or maybe even things are just going very well. It's still important to take some time to pause and reflect. Take a few minutes while you're deep breathing to repeat this mantra in your head. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for, and fill anything in the blanks. Make sure to be mindful of your thoughts. Let them come and go as you're repeating this mantra to yourself. Make sure to be careful and to not judge your thoughts if they are positive or negative. Make sure to try to not judge yourself if you're having a hard time to finding something you're grateful for. In any challenge, there's also exists a lesson. Without darkness, we would not be able to see the light. Take some more moments to repeat this mantra to yourself and continue breathing in for 4, holding for 4, and exhaling for 4. Take another moment to ponder what you are truly grateful for at this time and continue to center yourself. Thank you.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Now it is time for us to extinguish our chalices, but this has been such a beautiful service that I sort of wish it could keep going. I know I will certainly carry these thoughts and the wisdom of our youth with me today. Now please join me with our collective affirmation. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world until we are together again. And now let's join together in singing hymn number 76, For Flowers That Bloom About Our Feet.
flowers that bloom about our feet, for tender grass so fresh and sweet, for song of bird and hum of bee, for all things fair we hear or see. Giver of all, we thank thee. For blue of stream and blue of sky, for pleasant shade of branches high, for fragrant air and cooling breeze, for beauty of the blooming trees. Giver of all, we thank thee. For this new morning with its light, for rest and shelter of the night, for health and food, for love and friends, for everything thy goodness sends. Giver of all, we thank thee.
All right. Now it is time for our closing words. The words "thank you" are a small prayer of appreciation. They form a connection between oneself and something that is helpful. I hope you have formed a connection to our words today, and that you found something that is helpful to you. I hope that the diversity of our thoughts and experiences, from the power of choice to the value of gratitude letters, and many more, has left you better equipped to celebrate all that is wonderful in your life. We appreciate all of you so much for being here. Jerry will now bring today's service to a close with our postlude, Your Smiling Face by James Taylor. I will leave you with just 2 lines from a poem called The World is Too Beautiful by Eric Williams. The world is too beautiful to be praised by only one voice. May you have the courage to sing your part.
Whenever I see your smiling face, I have to smile myself because I love you. Yes, I do. And when you give me that pretty little pout, it turns me inside out. There's something about you, baby, I don't know. Isn't it amazing that a man like me can feel this way? Tell me how much longer it will grow stronger every day. Oh, how much longer? I thought I was in love a couple of times before with the girl next door, but that was long before I met you. Now I'm sure I won't forget you, and I thank my lucky stars that you are who you are, and not just another lovely lady sent down to break my heart. Isn't it amazing that a man like me can feel this way? Tell me how much longer it can grow stronger every day.
Beautiful, Jerry. Thank you so much for singing for us today.